In today's breaking story, all hell just broke loose on CNN, and it was all over the Charlie Kirk shooting. That's right, this Charlie Kirk incident continues to be at the forefront of everyone's mind for obvious reasons. How's it going, everybody? Hunter Avalone here with Occupy Democrats. Welcome back to another video. Now, we've been covering this tragedy with Charlie Kirk, but recently, Ben Shapiro tried to point some fingers, and it didn't work out so well.
If there's a shooting at a synagogue, it is very likely to be either a white supremacist or a radical Muslim. If it is a shooting of a Republican politician, it is very likely to be a trans Antifa Marxist shooter.
That is just not true.
We
don't know what this kid is.
We do know this kid was of the left. We do know that.
We do know what?
That this kid was of the political left. That is according to contemporaneous reporting from The Guardian as well as Tablet Magazine today.
It's 2 days out. We don't know shit, Ben.
But
we don't know shit. They never do. The internet is undefeated in getting it wrong to begin with.
It's not about the internet. That's about the actual reporting by mainstream accepted. The Guardian is not a right-wing.
Here's what we heard. Here's what I was told so far, and I'll tell you what was wrong. First, I heard he's a registered Republican. Not true. Okay. Then he was a donor to Trump. Not true. His father works in the sheriff's office. Not true. There was a picture of him wearing a pro-Trump shirt. Not true. Member of the Democratic Socialists of America. Not true. We don't know what he is.
Well,
how are you so sure he's of the left? Now, I agree when you write on a bullet, what did he write on the bullet?
Catch this fascist, which is also a gamer thing.
Okay, but now I'm hearing he may have been part of that group for whom Charlie Kirk was not right-wing enough.
You mean the Groypers, yes. I mean, so that would...
You're sure he's not that?
I'm not sure that he's not that.
A minute ago you were sure what he was.
Hold on, Bill. Hold on. Okay, because I've been...
You were.
Thankfully, Shapiro isn't the only one. There are other people speaking out, calling for unity.
And if we are going to let politics invade something so wrong as murder, well, we've got a lot more work to do to create that better world that our kids deserve. Or how about we leave it like this? We have a commitment not to leave a broken country to our kids, to leave a divided country to our kids, a country where that is boiling too hot, or where people are trying to constantly create an us versus a them and then dehumanize one side and encourage violence. That is not the country any of us want our kids to grow up in. And the answer to that will never be one side just agrees with everything that the other does. It's that we learn to get along better, or in the very least, to wish each other well, even when we disagree. So I know that's a tall order, especially with where we've seen things moving, but it's worth it. Remember, our kids, our grandkids, and our great-grandkids are going to live in this country, and we have an obligation to leave it better off, not worse off than we found it.
But that may have been short-lived, because now all hell just broke loose on CNN, all because of the Charlie Kirk shooting. That's right. Take a look at today's top story.
The service to the base part of that is, I think, interesting and important for both parties to grapple with. Do you think that Markwayne Mullin is right that, and I'll just have you speak for your own party first, is he right that there are some people who spend all their time just trying to whip up the base, and the result of that is something really toxic for the country?
I do think both sides. Yes. I mean, of course, there are. If we're talking about being on X and whatnot, of course, there are sides that spend all their time whipping up the base, both right and left. I'm not going to disagree with you on that. But I do think that, look, I heard the congressman on there saying, "Oh, we need to tone down the rhetoric." Well, will the rhetoric get toned down? I mean, again, I go back to what was on the bullet from this kid was fascism, and that's only coming from one side currently in this debate, and it's on every placard and every poster around the country. I mean, I think it's a valid question, but are they going to live up to what they say they're going to do with the Nazi and the fascism and the like?
I don't
think we know, just to be clear, I mean, just law enforcement people, I don't think we know the meaning of his message. We know his history.
Bella Ciao is an anti-fascist thing. It says fascists catch this.
Then I'll give you his history. Then I'll give you his history, right? Think about his history. His history, but this is not the...
Why are we debating that?
This is what I'm talking about. That's why I wanted to tell you. This was my point, not yours. This was my point, not yours. The point is, who cares? a man was killed. And you have yet to say political violence is bad, period. That's all that people want from the president. That's all. And we're getting this spin up of the you and this and what. Stop counting. Well, stop looking, because you're not going to divine a perfect motive in this case. I think we're looking for it. You're not going to divine it. We generally don't.
Let me just ask.
Thanks so much for watching. Please click that like button and subscribe to Occupy Democrats so that you can stay informed and help us stop Donald Trump.